Thank you very much for staying with us here on Joy News at 8. This is now time for some business news now. And the Accra Metropolitan Assembly could grow some 3 million cedis from the issuance of permits for billboards alone this year. 1 million cedis more than last year. The amount would, however, be split with Via Affinity, which is managing the Assembly's Signage and Advertisement Unit. Its Chief Executive, John Yanka, however, says the figure represents a steady rise in revenue since it entered into an arrangement with the AMA.
Mr. Yanka explains that of the 3 million cedis, the AMA will get 1 million cedis and another 60% of the remaining 2 million, whilst Via Affinity takes the remaining 800,000 cedis. He says the steady rise in revenue accruing to the AMA justifies the partnership with Via Affinity.
One, we have counted the billboards. So every billboard or majority of the billboards on the ground is accounted for. We have increased capacity on the ground. As I told you, we've created an organogram, a whole organization structure. We also, in conjunction to this, have rooted out some of the anomalies that were one of the major reasons why the revenues were not coming in. One example which I cited earlier was the fee fixing. Even though this fee fixing has still to date has been a contention with AAG members and AMA, when the matter is still in court, which has been dealt with, we still bring in new business because there are a lot of new customers who are coming to market. AMA was advised to charge on ground rent, which meant only one phase. So when you're charging ground rent, you only charge one ground rent. However, the structure or the billboard on the site hypothetically could be 2 phases or 3 phases. You could have a customer such as MT on one end, and on the other space of the structure, you could have Coca-Cola or Guinness or any other bona fide company. Now, AMA was not benefiting for these multiple advertisements. And that was the reason for this was purely because of the way they do the calculation, that the calculation was based on ground rent, which was not the case. So we were quick to change the fee fixing for 2010 and made it airspace, because that is the industry standards for charging or calculating rates for outdoor advertising, airspace. So now the revenue has doubled in the sense that they are not only paying for one phase, but they're paying for 2 phases. And this is why the advertisers are complaining. But in reality, it's not so much they're complaining about the rate, it's because now they have to pay for the multiple phases, which should have been the norm, as opposed to just paying for one phase. And this was one of the reasons, fundamental reasons, that AMA was making fundamental losses in revenue from outdoor. And these have changed. So now the revenue is coming in. This also is accounted for the sharp increased trend in the revenue that we receive.
The company and the AMA are currently locked in a legal battle with the Advertising Association of Ghana over the new permit fees for the erection of billboards. The Public Relations Office of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, when contacted, said they have no reason to doubt the figures put out by Via Affinity about this year's projections.
The Ghana National Petroleum Corporation has announced the discovery of a new well with considerable crude oil. The Sankofa East 1 Discovery Exploration well is located in a Cape 3 Point block offshore Ghana.
According to a statement from GNPC, during the production tests, the well flowed about 5,000 barrels of oil a day. It says the discovery, while confirming the important role of the block in the development of non-associated gas resources, also reveals its oil potential, and that it is planned that after completion of lodging operations, the well will be suspended for possible future use in appraisal and development operations. Director of Operations at the GNPC, Thomas Menu, says the Sankofa East discovery extends the presence of hydrocarbon to the east of the main Sankofa discovery, adding that the oil discovery has enhanced the value of the Sankofa and Ginyami discoveries, which is advancing toward a plan of development. Ghana National Petroleum Corporation has 15% carried interest in the Deepwater Tunnel block, whilst Italian firm Eni, which will be the operator, has 47.2% working interest, and Vitol Upstream Ghana Limited 37.8% working interest.
Transport Minister Haji Collins Dauda has denied reports the government is planning to sell Kotoka International Airport to a strategic investor. He, however, confirmed plans are underway by government to soon establish a new national carrier. Editor of the Inside newspaper, Kwesi Pratt Jr., some months back reportedly intercepted some documents that indicated government is seeking public-private partnership in running the Kotoka, Tamale, Kumasi and Takoradi airports. But Ahaji Dauda tells Joy Business report they are only seeking private partnership to develop the airport's infrastructure, dismissing the report of the purported planned sale. The Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SSNIT, has ventured into investing in Ghana's aviation industry. The trust has over the years made investments in the real estate sector and financial stocks on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Joy Business Report can, however, confirm that SSNIT is a part owner of the latest entrant in the aviation industry, African World Airlines. It is, however, unclear how much stake SSNIT has in the new airline. Director General of SSNIT, Frank Odum, tells Joy Business Report the move has good prospects. Other shareholders include SAS Finance Group, Cat Fund and Hanan Airlines. Meanwhile, Africa World is set to begin commercial operations tomorrow as a fifth domestic airline. This will be a commercial flight from Accra to Kumasi and back after an official launch. Chairman Togbe Afeji told Joy Business their plan is to fly to West African cities with Ghana as a hub for its operations. And you're here on Joy News at 8, and we have some more business news for you because Ghana's fifth domestic airline operator, Africa World, will officially begin commercial flights on Friday. Africa World Airline received its second aircraft about a week ago, bringing its fleet size in the interim to 2.
The airline is expected to begin its first commercial flights from Accra to Kumasi and subsequently to the other major destinations, including Tamale and Takoradi. Revealing some of the strategies of the airline as it enters Ghana's market, the founder of the airline, Togbe Afede XIV, said the airline expects to have a large fleet size, and this will mean large operations, which will enable them to maximize economies of scale, which will mean that they can offer competitive fares so that customers will have value for money. Togbe Afede XIV further added that the most important thing in the airline business is reliability and safety, adding that aircraft they will use are relatively new aircraft manufactured in 2009, so they are coming in with very good quality aircraft that will ensure greater reliability and safety.
And before we end the business segment, I want to give you some international business news coming in right now because gadget lovers have flooded Apple with pre-orders and set up camp outside the company's real-world stores to get their hands on the new generation iPhone 5 set for release Friday. Analysts have dismissed efforts by Apple adversary Samsung to poke fun at iPhone fanatics and a lack of innovative handset features in print and video arts.
Aspiring iPhone 5 owners started a queue outside the Apple store in Manhattan last week, and similar vigils have begun outside the California company's shops at other spots around the world. Apple said that it received more than 2 million orders for its new iPhone 5 in the 24 hours after it began pre-sales online on September 14th. Apple unveiled the new version of its iconic smartphone at a San Francisco media event on September 12 and promised that it will be available in 100 countries by year's end. The first customers are expected to get the device on Friday, but Apple has pushed the delivery date for new orders out several weeks due to fierce demand. The notion iPhone 5 being tough to get was expected to spur more people to lay siege to stores for the hotly anticipated release. Some analysts say Apple could sell 10 million units in the opening days and 50 million before the end of 2012.
And it's now time for some showbiz. And in our entertainment news, legendary South African musician and trumpeter Hugh Masekela is in town for the African Legends Night concert. The event, which comes off at the Accra International Conference Center, will treat music lovers to some jazz and classical tunes. But ahead of the concert, Hugh assured his fans of an explosive night. Speaking at the press conference earlier today, he cautioned female patrons in particular to leave their high heels behind, since it will be impossible for them to do the kwaito, a South African dance in them.
Hugh Masekela's return to the Ghanaian stage comes a year after a mega concert and the premiering of his movie title Soil at the Silverbird Cinemas. Anchor Hugh, as he's affectionately called, says to be able to thrill his audience, he works on his energy levels so he can do all the kwaito moves.
Exercise, exercise. And my wife is like the family nutritionist. She makes sure that we don't eat funny food. But we walk every morning, I do floor exercises, I do Tai Chi, I swim, I keep fit and work hard at my craft.
He is in Ghana once again for this year's edition of the Kasapreko African Legends Night, which will also feature Lady May from Namibia, High Life veteran Ben Brakon, singer Bertha, now known as Yaya, and the finest Ghanaian saxophonist Steve Beddy.
This is going to be the very, very first time not playing with him as a band, but sharing stage with him, being on the same bill, and it's such a great honor because he's an icon that I have really learned a lot from. The mere fact that he doesn't play the saxophone, but I've listened to him over the years and he's really inspired me. So it's such a great honor, it's a privilege, and I so much appreciate it.
Namibian star Lady May, who is performing in Ghana for the first time, says she has waited this long to be in Ghana, and the African Legend Night offers the perfect platform for her to show Ghanaians her beautiful mix of Namibian, Oshiwambo, kwaito and Western pop.
A lot of energy, a lot of craziness. That's all I can say, guys. Too much energy, and I hope you guys are ready to be entertained, because I am an entertainer, and allow me to entertain you, Ghana, please.
Ben Brakon and Baden music star Bertha will also rock the stage at the banquet hall on the night. Last year's edition of the Kasapreko African Legend Night was heavily patronized with innumerable pleas for an encore.
Well, it's common knowledge by now that some ladies, particularly female celebrities, spend close to 1,000 Ghana cedis on Brazilian hair pieces just to stand out in the crowd. Well, thanks to them, the price of the brand of hair piece has hit the roof. But while the craze for hair extension rages on among our female celebrities, one of them has decided to go natural in a bid to carve a unique identity for herself.
If you have seen Ghanaian Afro-pop singer Rebecca Akosua-Champong lately, you will realize that she has a new look. Yes, she is literally wearing her own hair. But flashbacks say 4 years ago, she, like other Ghanaian female celebrities, varied her hairstyle thanks in part to the human, Brazilian or whichever hairpiece that was available on the market. But now, the singer says it is time to rebrand herself.
Now for me, a girl, a woman that comes from Africa, come from West Africa, Ghana, I just thought, you know, why do I have to do a weave or put something long on my hair when I'm African? I'm a brand, okay? No, I love people that do long hair, it's fine. I think it's a choice as well. It's a choice whether or not you want to be natural or you want to have a weave on or not, but I'm a brand. And as a brand, I do not want to be like Beyonce. Beyonce's got all the long weave ones. I want to be Becca. I want to be recognized as a girl from Africa.
But where from this sudden Africanness? Did she just realize she's an African?
I think it's been about, it's getting to about 2 years now. It's getting to about 2 years now. I've always believed I'm African, okay? I've always believed I'm African. I didn't think I was European. No, I've got black tough skin and I'm an African woman, and I was born in Kumasi, so I know I'm an African.
So how much does it cost to maintain this new Becca look?
I can't put that in value as in monetary wise, but I think that it cost an arm and a leg.
And is it doing her any good?
I'm doing pretty well with that. I think that it's easy for people to recognize and know where I'm coming from.
Well, we just could not end the conversation without touching on her $50,000 video. So really, did it cost that much?
I'm a singer, okay? What would you want me to invest in? Should I buy a new car or buy new shoes or try and get a house or do what? What is the best investment? What would you think I should invest in if not my music? If I could spend $100,000 on it, I think I would have. There's a catch there. This video was actually sponsored by Casa Preco. Yes, it was sponsored by Casa Preco. Yes, and 50,000 did not go into just the shooting of the video. I had to travel to South Africa with my manager. Emma had to travel as a manager. There's hotel bills to pay, you know, there's transportation, and then we had to pay the director for props and all that. So it was all in one. And when you think about it and you accumulate it, it will be up to 50,000.
Okay, so there you have it. Well, for all Becca fans, get ready for the release of her new 14-track album, which she says will be a mixture of genres from reggae to R&B to juju. And you made us too.
Hello there, good evening. My name is Rashidat Kadiri and I have the latest in the world of sports, including the latest results from the Europa League currently ongoing in Europe. But first, Chief Executive Officer of Obuasi-based Ashgold Sporting Club, Kudjo Fianu, has been elected onto the Executive Committee of the Ghana Football Association. The position became vacant after the death of former Kumasi Asante Kotoko Deputy Chief Executive Officer and lawyer Emmanuel Owusu-Ansah about 3 months ago.
Polled 10 votes of the total of 16 votes cast, beating Kwame Ba Nyakun, who represented Asante Kotoko, and J.F. Mensah from Ebusua Dwarfs, who polled 4 and 1 votes respectively. Kudjo Fianu, who is Chief Executive Officer of Premier League side Ashgold, told Joy Sports in an interview he would want to pay back the investment Ghana football has made in him.
I think that I have a lot to do for Ghana football. I have to pay back the investment made in me by the football fraternity. It's not going to be easy. There's a lot of work to be done at the executive committee level. We know we adopted the FIFA statutes a couple of years back, and we are still going through a lot of reforms so far as our statutes and regulations are concerned. So we are going in there to formulate rules and regulations, statutes that will help in the development of Ghana football.
Kwame Ba Nyakun, who accepted his defeat in good faith, is looking ahead to brighter side of life.
It's part of the game and life goes on. My contribution to the game doesn't end today. I still have years to contribute to not just Kotoko but the FA itself. I've already done some. The electorate felt that they needed Mr. Kudjo Fianu to go. I appreciate that and I accept that. It's part of the game. I mean, it's just like playing football. And you go into a football match knowing that there are 3 possible results. Either you win, you draw, or you lose.
16 delegates representing each of the Premier League clubs voted in today's election at the Ghana Football Association headquarters.
More on football in the Ghana League Board, the Premier League Board actually, and the Ghana Football Association have released fixtures for the 2012-2013 league season. The new campaign will kick off on October 7 at all league centres.
The new season gets underway with defending champions Asante Kotoko hosting newly promoted side Amadeus Professionals at the Baba Yara Stadium in Kumasi. Ashgold, who finished second last season, will travel to the Tamale Sports Stadium where they will take on returnees RTU. Chief Executive Officer of the Miners, Kudjo Fianu, is upbeat about Ashgold's chances of going to the league's ultimate.
For the past 3 years, Ashgold, as if we've monopolized the second position on the league table. And I believe that our supporters and our well-wishers think that it is time to go a notch higher. And if you are to move higher from the second position, definitely you have to win a championship. So I think we've done some recruitment, we've retained some players.
Tema Youth will host Hearts of Oak at the Tema Stadium, while Liberty Professionals host returnees King Faisal. 2011 champions Brecum Chelsea, who ended their CAF Champions League campaign about a week ago, will take on Hearts of Lions. Team manager of Brecum Blues, Ni Akrofi Smart Abe, is confident Chelsea will take the league by storm.
Our expectations are higher than before because we just came out from the Champions League, and what we think of achieving, we did not achieve it. So we are preparing very well, possibly, if God permits, to go further than we went the last season. I can say that we want to be either the face.
Yashin Laye is team manager of Hearts of Lions, who struggled in the last season to survive relegation. He hopes for the best for the Kpando-based side.
We have a new coach by name Safo Castro, and then my bankroller Vitor is back on the block. And so we are trying very, very hard to make sure. Traditionally, Lions always plays among the first top 4, and then we play in the top 4. And so that's exactly what we're trying to do, that at least we'll be among the top 4, play good game, get some good players out there, and then we serve the national team and then make sure some of them goes outside.
In other fixtures of the opening day, Adubiasi host Mediama, while Wa All Stars host Aduana Stars, with Dwarfs doing battle against Brekum Arsenals.
Now, 24 matches were played this evening in the Europa League, and some results coming in. Udinese 1, Anzi Makachkala 1, and Android Dede Ayew scored a late equalizer for Marseille to draw 2-2 with Turkish side Fenerbahce. Inter Milan lost 2-1 at home to Rubin Kazan. Young Boys 3, Liverpool FC 5. The John Pencil side Tel Aviv, Hapoel Tel Aviv, they actually lost at home 3-0 to Atletico Madrid. Victoria Pletzen 1, Academica Coimbra. Victoria Pletzen 3, Academica Coimbra 1. Ending it for the sports segments for this evening. Good evening.
In international news, shopkeepers, traders and laborers in India blocked railway lines and closed markets Thursday in protest against federal reforms to open the nation's $500 billion retail sector to global supermarket chains. Opposition parties and trade unions called the strike after Prime Minister Manmohan Singh last week announced a raft of reforms designed to revive India's slowing economy, a move that has sparked a furious backlash.
In New Delhi, traders marched through the streets shouting "No FDI" in retail slogans, a reference to foreign direct investment. The protests are a backlash against the Indian government's announcement last week allowing foreign retailers to own a 51% stake in joint ventures in India, which is Asia's third largest economy. Major markets in several Indian cities were closed in the one-day strike, backed by opposition parties and allies of Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's government who support them. Protesters were also opposing recent fuel price increases and caps on kitchen gas canister supplies. Traders banned an effigy labeled FDI in retail and the Indian capital after a demonstration joined by communist, right-wing and socialist leaders. Thousands of policemen were deployed in Kolkata in West Bengal state to prevent violence as shops, markets and offices shut down for the 24-hour strike. Singh's government, which announced sweeping reforms last week amid massive criticism of its handling of the economy, says foreign retailers will help improve the country's creaky supply chains.
Now, France Prime Minister says France will seek an immediate EU ban on imports of genetically modified corn made by Monsanto if a study linking it to cancer in rats is deemed credible.
Demanded a rapid procedure in the order of a few weeks, which
International news was brought to you.
And that's it for Joy News at 8. Thank you very much for your company. My name is Evans Mensah. Stay with us for the late news at 11. PM Express starts right now.